All right, what's going on, everybody? Today I just wanted to make a little video doing a full Dillinger Escape Plan collection. They are my favorite band, and I have a bunch of CDs, records, merchandise, and I just wanted to do like a full little collection video for those guys right now. So we're going to start with the CDs. The first CD coming up here is going to be their self-titled EP from 1997. I have the 2012 re-release through Earache Records. This is a really cool little piece of Dillinger history. This is the first thing they ever put out. It has obviously two versions. I have the re-release without like the doll on it. This one's got like the machinery where the motif of like the little light bulb came from. Lyrics in the side. Pretty cool disc that mirrors the album cover with some nice artwork on the inside. Definitely a must-have for all the Dillinger collectors, Dillinger fans out there. Yeah, just a really solid release, really solid little CD I got there. Next up, we have the Dillinger Escape Plan split with a band called Nora. I, to this day, haven't heard of Nora. I haven't even listened to the songs on the CD, but I have listened to the Dillinger song. It is actually like a demo version of 4th Grade Dropout, which is really cool because I usually don't do like demos or anything. This was a really nice steal. I'm glad I found it. It's kind of essential for the collection, so picked it up from Zia Records. It was like a couple bucks. Next, we have the very important, very infamous Under the Running Board, released in also 97, I believe, 98. Don't quote me on that. Got it from Zia Records. Again, this one was the last one I needed to find. It took me so long. Solid album. Abe the Cop, still one of my favorite Dillinger Escape Plan songs of all time. It should have the year at the bottom. I think I said 98. Yeah, this is a pretty solid release. I really love the like old-timey kind of aesthetic. 97, there it is. Old-timey kind of aesthetic, like the John Dillinger stuff. The disc is one of my favorites too. That's just a really nice picture. It's all really cool. Under the Running Board, a classic, must-have, and one of my favorites so far. Next up, coming up, is the infamous, the classic, Calculating Infinity. A couple of my CD cases aren't in the best condition, so please do not take note. I apologize. Track listing there. Again, continuing with the kind of light bulb motif they started going on. Released in 1999 through Relapse Records. The classic album, more of that machinery on the inside. Really nice disc, though. I really like the disc designs for all of the Dillinger albums, honestly. But yeah, this album's a classic. You know it, you love it. If you haven't heard it, you have to. It is an insane record, and it's so important to the history of extreme music as a whole. Next up, coming up, we have Irony is a Dead Scene. That's what it's called. Released in 2002 with Mike Patton on vocals, released through Epitaph Records, which I find so funny. The Dillinger Escape Plan have been on like every record label imaginable. It's so funny. This album is a classic. Mike Patton, of course, on vocals. It was in between Dimitri and Greg. I love the disc on this one. I love the kind of matte black finish on the disc there. It's like the matte with all the engravings on it. Looks beautiful. Super clean package. Love that album. Next, we have Miss Machine, released in 2004. Also on Relapse Records. This is, I don't know if this is the original edition or like a special edition. It doesn't have any bonus content on it, but it does come in that cool sleeve. The album art there's like a fold out poster I had on my wall there. It's got no track list on the back of it on the inside, because it's on the back of the sleeve on the outside. Looking at the date at the bottom there. It's got a cool disc with like some more of the artwork, and can you guess what's behind it? More of the grid pattern. Super cool album. Such a classic album. Super cool release. I'll go more in depth on these albums when I do the vinyls, because I show more of the vinyls for sure. But we'll start here. Coming up next is a fan favorite, Ironworks, released in 2007, the last Dillinger Escape Plan album or project to be released on Relapse Records. Super cool artwork. Those little cubes up at the top I read years ago as like a cipher, so I wanted to show off the cubes there. Solid track list. Love this album to death. I don't have a copy of Plagiarism EP. I know I'm missing. I need to see if that even exists on physical. I haven't been able to find one. This disc has a super cool little like gimmick. You can like write your name on it. It's part of like the weird little gimmick they were doing with the album where it was like an info hazard. You got to turn it in. That's what the booklet on the inside says. But super cool, super classic album. And that's that right there. That's Ironworks. Coming up next is controversially my favorite Dillinger Escape Plan album, 2010's Option Paralysis. This was the first album to be released through Season of Mist. Again, another gross case. I really do apologize. They love trolling by not putting the track list on the back of the album. This one is, well, I mean, it is the track list, but I mean, look at it. It's just printed to fucking oblivion. This album also, funny enough, doesn't have the date on the back. The album art on the inside is more of like the pictures. I'll show you the art coming up next here. The art behind the disc is the ear, and super classic album. Again, very controversially, anyways, my favorite. Farewell Mona Lisa got me into the band. This is the deluxe edition of Option Paralysis that I have. I have 2 copies on CD. Again, still no date on the back, but an actual track list this time. And this one has a really cool kind of gimmick where they kind of fold out. You can fold these back up in any way you want as well. They kind of fold out the other side. This one has the liner notes for the album, and then the rest of them will have the lyrics for the album on it as well. I really struggled with opening this one. For y'all, it's kind of a hassle. But it's a super cool gimmick. I've never seen anything like it, honestly. It's got the full album art, all of the artwork inside. One of my favorite special editions I've ever seen in my life to this day. Definitely one of my favorite pieces in my collection. Super cool. I'm pretty sure behind the disc is just the regular album cover as well, like the same on the disc. But it kind of folds up there, and that's that. Next up, we have One of Us is the Killer. I have this really cool, like, color burst one. I haven't seen that before. I don't know a whole lot about it. This album was released on Sumerian Records in 2013. This must be a deluxe edition or something because it does actually have some bonus hidden material at the back of the disc. I think it's like a couple demos or remixes. I don't honestly really even remember, but it's got some bonus material on it and it's hidden. It's not listed. But I don't even think it has track IDs too on like DVD players or whatnot. But the cool classic One of Us is the Killer kind of like ink blotch paint designs on here. Nice, slick and clean. A fantastic album. Everybody knows One of Us is the Killer. One of the greats, truthfully. And last but not least for the CDs is the last Dillinger Escape Plan album ever released, Dissociation, in 2016. Again, another filthy case. I do apologize. And again, no track listing. This one released through Party Smasher Inc., which is the in-house label of Ben Weinman. So they finally kind of moved away from actual kind of record labels for this last one here. Super cool full spread artwork, which is also in the gatefold of the vinyl. Album cover on the disc. Nice little bundle right there. And speaking of the vinyl records, that's what we're going to be getting into now. I don't have Under the Running Board, unfortunately. I need to get it. So we're going to start with the Dillinger Escape Plan 20th Anniversary Edition of Calculating Infinity. This released in 2019 for the 20th Anniversary Edition. It's got both the album Calculating Infinity and the Live Infinity album, which this bundle was the only way to get that album physically, but you can still listen to it on streaming services here. I'm going to take them out and show them both. There's that. Cool. both the records have a really cool design where they're kind of like half dipped. There's like a normal black side, and then there's like an orange side with some black splatter pattern on them. Again, both the records are like that, but it's a super cool, super clean design. And again, Live Infinity, a super cool Oddities live album. It's the only way you can get it is through this bundle here. I'm pretty sure. But I had to scoop it up. It was definitely worth it. Super clean design too. And again, it's got that same kind of splatter on it. But this was awesome. I don't have the Miss Machine Anniversary Edition box set, however, but I do have Miss Machine. We'll get to that. That is Calculating Infinity. Next up here is Irony is a Dead Scene. The vinyl, this is a Zia Records exclusive with Mike Patton. I love the album art for these records too. I actually have up on my walls, so I can't show you them, but it's the same album art that's inside of the CD bundles as well. This has the same record design as Calculating Infinity and Live Infinity, just without the splatter. It's just a nice matte orange on the black. Here is Miss Machine. This was part of the 15-year birthday, I believe, released through Relapse Records. It's not the box set, however, but it is a colored variant. You kind of saw it slip out there a little bit. Normal track listing, but it does have both sides listed there. 2004, 2015, so it was a little before, a little after. And here is the Coke bottle variant. It's got this nice little pinwheel pattern on it. The only one I have of that kind, I have a record in that Coke bottle color, but the only one I have with that kind of like tri-pinwheel on it. Next up, we have Ironworks. My poor copy of Ironworks got smashed up in the mail when I ordered it. I did order this one. This is the electric blue with splatter. This nice, sleek design. Again, all the same stuff as the CD. I was trying to get a clear view of the spine. That same little cipher there. More metallic though. The artwork on this is more metallic, you can tell. And this is the splatter. The vinyl also has the little like gimmick of of putting your name on it, and then the artwork which I have up on my wall is the same as the CD. Next is Option Paralysis. This one is the dark green variant, strictly limited to 300 copies. This album on vinyl is released in like a whole bunch of different variants, and I'm trying my damnedest to collect them all. This is the dark green one. This is the first one I got. It's kind of like my original copy, for lack of a better term. And surprise, surprise, I have two copies. This one, I believe, just came out. It's the gold and black marbled. And I can actually show you the artwork inside for this one because I have the artwork for my first one on the wall. This one I still have in the sleeve, so I can actually show you the art. This is what it comes with, just a nice simple little PVC sleeve. And this is the record itself, the gold and black marble. This one is actually one of my favorite records that I own, for sure. This is actually super sleek. Had to pick it up just now from Zia Records. They do have an anniversary edition of One of Us is the Killer. I didn't get to pick up as well. That's like a silver metallic version, but hopefully I'll be able to go grab that guy soon. Speak of the devil, next up is One of Us is the Killer. Fun fact about this vinyl, this is actually the first vinyl record, period, that I ever owned. Before I even had a record player or anything. Just wanted it for the collection here. It's got the artwork, the little gatefold. It comes with a full-size poster. The poster is of the tree design, which is on like the second side of the record here, which you'll see. That's from the CD. It's kind of this off-white cream color for the record. And then those trees that's actually the poster that's up on the wall. That's the design of the poster. Super cool bundle. Again, my first ever record. Then we go to Dissociation. This one is my only Dillinger record that's not colored. However, there is a cool little surprise on it. I'll show y'all. Same as the CD with the gatefold and everything. The artwork this time around is a little more dull. It's kind of just the lyrics on another one of those PVC sleeves. You could see that it's a little scratched because I put it on my wall with tape, took it down. Side A, side B, super cool. Got the disc on it. The other side has like some art I put up on the wall, but it's more pictures of like the sockets of like the light bulbs, because this was the whole like light bulb shattering kind of ending moment, signifying the end. And this is the secret. It is an engraved record, one of 2 records I have that are engraved. So very cool. Actually, I lied. One of 4 I have engraved. Actually, I have 2 other engraved. Knocked Loose did some engraveds I got, but super cool. One of my favorites. It's actually textured too, which is different than all the other engravings I have. So super rad. And that's it for the vinyls. We're going to be moving on to some miscellaneous collectibles. I have some DVDs here. This is the Miss Machine DVD. This one's super cool. Scooped it up at Zia Records for $4. It's got some music videos on it, some live footage, and then some extras, which is pretty cool. Little interviews, behind the scenes of the unretrified video. A lot of cool little oddities that if you're a Dillinger fan, definitely should pick up. I don't know if they have too many more like album-specific DVDs. I'll have to do some digging, of course, and if I find them, I'm going to get them, and I'll update this video as well, definitely, when I get some stuff I don't have already. Then we have the Relapse Records Contamination Fest 2003. Dillinger is the headlining band on there. This was like a little Relapse Records fest. It had a couple bands. They all played a couple songs. This CD has Pig Destroyer on it, Mastodon, Neurosis, a bunch of other dope-ass bands from Relapse in the time. I picked it up because it's got Dillinger on it, and I figured it would work as like a Dillinger thing as well, showing the scary guy. On the back, it's got this cool little booklet inside, which kind of has a catalog of all of the Relapse stuff going on at the time, all of the bands that are on the show and their discographies. Dillinger Escape Plan right there in the middle. I'm going to zoom in on it. At the time, they had only had Under the Running Board and Calculating Infinity released. Also wanted to show some love to the Mastodon section, which is Lifeblood and Remission. And then I wanted to show love to the Pig Destroyer section, which at the time was 38 counter. It's a battery power in the yard. Calculating Infinity shirt in there, which is super cool. I own that, and I own that Prowler in the Yard shirt as well. So that's it for kind of all that stuff, all the miscellaneous CDs, vinyls, everything. We're going to be moving on now to the clothing. Speaking of that Calculating Infinity shirt, here it is. I haven't worn it in years because it's too small. Please ignore the deodorant stains. I wear gel deodorant. They don't treat my shirts super well, but I haven't worn this shirt in a very long time. But this is the one from the Relapse Records website. Next up, I have this Miss Machine shirt. It's really cool. It's got like the logo on it with the album cover in the background. It's a little hard to read, honestly. It's kind of a little illegible, but it's a super nice shirt still. One of my favorites. And then I have an Ironworks shirt here. I didn't really notice that these were all almost in like album order, but this is the Milk Lizard shirt, so I had to cop. It's got the album cover on the front. It's got the album cover on the sleeve, which I always loved as a cool little touch, and then it's got the band name on the sleeve. However, it's super faded. This shirt is prone to fading. It didn't always look like that when I had it. This shirt fades kind of crazy. And then I have this Limerent Death shirt, which they released a couple years ago after they had broken up. It's got a really awesome photo of them playing on it, and then it says Dissociation on one sleeve. I thought I said something on the other sleeve, so I like try and show y'all, but there is nothing on the other sleeve. um, a super cool shirt though. I love it. I was so stoked. It came out at midnight, and I went out and grabbed it when it like arrived at the door. I was so stoked for that one. Last but not least, my piece de resistance for Dillinger. One of my favorite things I own of anything, period, is my Low Fuels Boulevard Union jacket. One of my favorite songs by the Dillinger Escape Plan. Super slept on song. It's got this beautiful embroidered Dillinger logo on the front. It's got really heavy duty pockets shown there with the zipper, with nice buttons for the cufflinks, and it's also got buttons on the back. I show for there. It's got the nice collar on it. It's a beautiful jacket. It was a limited run as well. Had to get me one. And that's it for my Dillinger Escape Plan collection. That's everything there. I wanted to show some love for Dillinger. This is definitely my most like complete band collection that I have. So I definitely want to do some more for y'all in the future when I get more stuff. But that's it. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.